Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nur Aireena Hilda and my metric number is 25.0952. So today I'll be presenting about Al-Ghazali and his contributions to Islamic thought and spirituality. So first let's look at his background. So Al-Ghazali was an influential Muslim scholar born in Persia in 1058 Common Era. So this is important because he lived during a period where Islamic scholarship was flourishing and many intellectual debates were taking place. So through his extensive studies, he became one of the most respected scholars of his time. So he was known as Hujjat al-Islam, meaning the proof of Islam. So this title was given to him because of his ability to defend and explain Islamic teachings clearly using both religious evidence and logical reasoning. It shows the high respect that Muslims had for his knowledge and contributions. So he specialized in theology, philosophy, ethics, and spirituality. So rather than focusing on only one field, Al Ghazali explored different areas of knowledge. So this allowed him to address both intellectual and spiritual issues faced by Muslims. Um, Al Ghazali also authored many important Islamic works. Among his famous books is Ihya Ulum ad-Din, which discusses worship, morality, and spiritual purification. So his writings became important references for scholars and students throughout the Muslim world. So as a result, his teachings continue to influence Islamic thought today, even though he lived almost 1,000 years ago. So next, let's look at his main contributions. For the first one, we have spirituality. So one of Al-Ghazali's key teaching was the importance of purifying the heart and soul. So he believed that spiritual diseases such as pride, jealousy, greed, and hypocrisy could weaken a person's relationship with Allah. Therefore, Muslims should constantly strive to cleanse their heart from these negative qualities. He also emphasized sincerity or ikhlas in worship. So this means that every act of worship should be performed solely for Allah and not for praise or recognition from other people. For example, if someone gives a charity only to gain attention, so act the act of that, it loses the spiritual values. So Um, and another important teaching was balancing worldly life and the hereafter. So Al Ghazali did not encourage people to abandon worldly responsibilities. Instead, he thought that Muslims should work, study, and contribute to society while remembering their ultimate purpose of worshipping Allah. So, through these teachings, he encouraged Muslims to strengthen their personal relationship with Allah and focus on spiritual growth. So, the next contributions is knowledge and education. So, Al Ghazali believed that knowledge must lead to a good character. So, in his view, knowledge is not valuable if it does not improve a person's behavior. A truly educated person should demonstrate honesty, humility, and responsibility. He also combined intellectual learning with spiritual development. This means that the students should only focus on academic success, but should also develop their faith and moral values. So, according to Al Ghazali, true education nurtures both the mind and the soul. Furthermore, he warned against knowledge without faith or purpose. A person may possess a great knowledge, but without ethical guidance, that knowledge can be misused. Therefore, knowledge should always be used for the benefit of society and accordance with Islamic principles. Finally, he encouraged lifelong learning, which which he believed that seeking knowledge is a continuous process that Muslims should never stop learning and improving themselves. So the next and the third contribution is philosophy and theology. So Al-Ghazali actually criticized philosophers whose ideas contradicted Islamic teachings. At that time, some philosophical theories challenged core Islamic beliefs. Al Ghazali carefully examined these ideas and pointed out aspects that were inconsistent with the Quran and Sunnah. However, he did not reject reason completely. Instead, he defended Islamic beliefs using logic and rational arguments. This demonstrate this demonstrate that Islamic and reason can work together rather than being in conflict. He also balanced rational thinking with revelation. While human reasoning is important, Al Ghazali argued that divine revelation from Allah remains the ultimate source of truth. As a result, his work helped strengthen Islamic theology, particularly in matters related to Aqidah or Islamic creed. So the last contributions is the fourth contribution, which is ethics and moral development. So Al Ghazali emphasized values such as honesty, humility, and self discipline. He believed that these qualities are essential for becoming a good Muslim and contributing positively to society. He also highlighted the importance of good character or akhlaq. According to Al Ghazali, good character is not merely an additional quality but a fundamental part of faith itself. In addition, he warned against arrogance and materialism. He believed that excessive attachment to wealth, status, and worldly success could distract people from their spiritual responsibilities. Finally, he encouraged self reflection and accountability. This means regularly evaluating one's actions, recognizing mistakes, striving for self improvement, and through this process, individuals can develop a stronger moral character and become closer to Allah. Next, let's take a look at the relevance in modern society. So, although Al Ghazali lived nearly 1,000 years ago, his teachings remain highly relevant today. First, his teachings remind people to balance material success with spirituality. So, in modern society, many people focus heavily on wealth, education, and career achievements. Al Ghazali reminds us that spiritual well being is equally important. Second, his ideas help address moral decline in society. His emphasis on honesty, responsibility, and good character can help combat issues such as corruption, dishonesty, and unethical behavior. Third, his teachings are relevant in dealing with stress and finding inner peace. So, by encouraging self reflection and strong connection with Allah, Al Ghazali provides guidance for maintaining emotional and spiritual well being. So, finally, his emphasis on sincerity is especially, is especially important in today's social media driven world, where people often seek approval and recognition from others. So, in conclusion, Al Ghazali was not only a scholar but also a reformer who transformed Islamic thought and spirituality. So, his contributions to spirituality, education, philosophy, theology, and ethics continue to inspire Muslims around the world. Even today, his teachings provide valuable guidance for achieving balance, developing a good character, and strengthening one's relationship with Allah. That is all for me. Thank you.